What up, Hyperchange? Let's go to YouTube. Today we're talking about Tesla's biggest weakness. Now, I'm a Tesla shareholder, a fan of the company. I love the mission. I believe in it. I'm invested for the long run. I think this is going to be one of the biggest companies in the world and change the way that we transport from fossil fuels to sustainable EVs. I love Tesla, but it's my largest investment. Almost all my capital is tied up in Tesla, and I think it's a great exercise to think through, what is the company's biggest weakness? Where could this go wrong? What is Tesla's Achilles heel? Contrary to what you may think, Tesla's biggest Achilles heel is not the competition that it has. It's not that it has a tough time raising money. It's not that enough people want to buy its cars. It's not that they're having trouble ramping production. It's not that the solar roof is taking too long. None of these are the biggest threat to Tesla or their Achilles heel. What's so ironic is the greatest threat to Tesla is actually itself and its internal company culture and one particular aspect of it, which I'm going to let fellow Tesla tuber Sean Mitchell explain to you right now.
This exponential ramp-up of Model 3 has overwhelmed Tesla's resources, and it has impacted Tesla's ability to provide quality customer service to their owners, new and old. I think that there is this growing consensus among owners that they absolutely love their cars, but they hate Tesla's customer service. It has created things like 30+ minute wait times on Tesla's support phone number. It's also meant that people are not getting responses at all from various departments. This creates a lot of frustration on the owner's part, and it can be very costly for Tesla, not only on a direct monetary value, but also on a brand value, the brand damage that is happening when owners don't get responses and their frustration grows is serious.
And just for a little context, Sean Mitchell is one of my favorite Tesla tubers, a friend of mine. He has an unbelievable channel, which I'll put a link to in the description. And he is the president of the Tesla Denver Club. He owns a Model S, has driven it all around. So he has a tremendous amount of experience with the Tesla owners community. When Sean Mitchell says something like this, I take it seriously. And I think this is also something that I've sort of been bubbling up in my own, analysis of the company as well. And I frame it as a different way from Sean Mitchell, which he says that customer service is the issue. And I really boil it down to Tesla's culture is chickens running around with their heads cut off. That's basically, in a weird way, I hope that makes sense. I'm a little bit sick, so I don't know if this is tying together, but the point being is Tesla, it's a company that's been growing like crazy. They're a startup. They're trying to do so many things at once. They're probably understaffed in every single division. And there's so much going on with the company. It's literally bursting at the seams. We saw car deliveries go up 204% year over year in Q4. Tesla's growing like an absurd amount. And with that growth comes growing pains. And I just think there's so much pressure directly coming from Elon Musk to, hit these delivery milestones, to ramp production so quickly, to ramp deliveries so quickly that, it causes stress on the overall system of Tesla. And there's another example of this, which is Rich Rebuilds, which is another awesome YouTube channel, posted this really interesting video about his process of trying to buy a used Tesla, where he basically ran into almost all of the same issues that Sean Mitchell discusses in his video, which was like a lack of response time, getting responses from different people, getting, things that didn't add up. There's just kind of this essence of dropping the ball, weak communication and disorganization that is very pervasive among Tesla. And it's not like everyone who orders a Tesla gets this problem. And it's not like, the company's going to die and ruin because of this, but I think it is a growing issue that I've noticed. And I think now more than ever, it's particularly important because we're going from these early adopters buying the Model S and X, I think are a very different consumer than the people who are buying the Model 3s today and who will buy the Model 3 when it hits $35,000. This is just a consumer, we're going from that early adopter to mass market phase, and the consumers in the mass market phase are going to be a lot pickier, and they're going to have a lot higher standards, and they're really going to expect, this is probably going to be the biggest purchase they've ever made. And so I think they're going to expect top tier customer service from Tesla. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's not people who are going to give Tesla the benefit of the doubt anymore. It's these mainstream normal consumers, and Tesla can't drop the ball with them. And if they do, which it looks like they are in some certain cases, that's killing their brand. And Tesla's brand and its relation with its customers is its most important asset. Tesla does zero marketing. It's all word of mouth. If that word of mouth starts going, the sentiment of that word of mouth starts going negative, which it is and continues to, that's a really, really bad thing for the future of the company. And, Elon Musk has something in common with Jeff Bezos in terms of running his company philosophy-wise that I love, which is your customers should be your focus, not the competition, but who are your customers? What do they want? Our job is to serve them. And I think Tesla, amidst this massive growth growth, explosion has lost sort of the focus on the customers on a granular level. And I think this is, maybe they haven't, maybe it's just a couple random complaints and this isn't really a big issue, but I think it's important for Tesla to take a step back and, and this is what personally frustrates me about Tesla, is like this push to do profitability, this push to hit delivery milestones. Like, it's great that we're growing fast, but I'd way rather we grew 150% this quarter and took care of every single customer. I wouldn't even care if we weren't profitable in Q3 because we had to hire a bunch more customer service reps to facilitate smooth delivery processes, because I think the experiences with the brand are going to dictate future purchases. They're going to dictate what people tell their friends. So I think there's nothing more important than the entire end-to-end experience of buying a car. And it's traditionally such a pain in the ass process to go to a car dealer to haggle with some salesman over the price, and then they come back, let me talk to the manager. It's this whole BS. Tesla was supposed to be this beautiful revolution in customer service in the automotive industry, and in many ways they have the opportunity to do that, but they're just dropping the ball. And so Sean Mitchell in his video basically pitches them on Zendesk software, which is this software, an omni-channel platform that aggregates all of the communication you have with customers on different channels and optimizes them into one place and makes it super easy. It integrates with CRM, which Sean Mitchell says he knows Tesla uses Salesforce. Zendesk can integrate with Salesforce. So I don't know if that's actually a real solution that would work. It seems like so easy, and if it seems like a no-brainer. Anyway, just generally, I wanted to make an episode about Tesla's biggest weakness because people always ask me like, oh, what about the competition? Like, aren't they going to, like, I'm not worried about the competition at all. I think Tesla, has a massive runway. They have a huge lead in battery technology, their distribution, their company culture, their software expertise. Like, I think they have so many massive competitive advantages as a company from a technological perspective, but it seems like where they're dropping the ball is these little simple customer service things. And I think that is the one weak point in Tesla. And the biggest concern for me is actually not that people buy other electric vehicles, it's that the electric vehicle movement dies as a whole. I don't think the history books have been written yet. Like, I know we're switching towards electric vehicles quickly, but it's still only a couple percent of new vehicle sales. Tesla's really the only US or company outside of China that is going really full steam ahead into producing hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of electric vehicles. Like, every other automaker is just dragging their feet. When we're going from that 2% to that 10 to that 15 to that mass market consumer who's going to has a lot of learning curves. Like, driving electric is different. It's a lifestyle change. And I think you need to educate consumers. It's a difficult switch. And I think Tesla needs to be extra careful with that switch and really hold the hand of all of its customers, especially at this early phase with the Model 3 coming out. And so that would be my suggestion to Tesla, would be pay more attention to company detail, hire more people, stop focusing on Wall Street. That's the essence of my biggest frustration with Tesla, is that the focus in 2018 shifted more than I've ever seen to what does Wall Street want? What's that deadline that we should hit that Wall Street's going to want? How many deliveries should we do because Wall Street wants to see that? Should we be profitable because Wall Street wants to see it? Okay, let's do that. Instead of what is the best for Tesla 20 years from now? We're building more connections with consumers for the first time in 2018 than we have ever built as a company in our entire history practically, because we're delivering so many more cars. So maybe we should take extra time to focus on what that interaction looks like. Anyway, that wraps it up. Tesla's biggest weakness is their customer service and generally just their company culture of being chickens, running around with their heads cut off. I think this is an easy fix, frankly. I mean, I think it comes from the top. Elon Musk is running 3 companies at once. He's probably like the prime example of the chicken running around with his head cut off. But anyway, the point is, I think this is normal growing pains for Tesla. Like, I'm not really concerned about the longevity of the company at all, unless this problem gets way worse. But I do think, from my perspective, I wanted to make an episode sharing with you guys, and I'd love to know in the comments, what do you think Tesla's biggest weakness is? Because to me, the way I see this story failing is that Tesla fails itself, and it fails to deliver for customers, and then customers lose faith that EVs are really as good as promised, and they go back to ICE. And that's how the company could fail. That's its biggest weakness, and that's why I just think we can't let the brand just erode because of customer service, So screw Wall Street. I don't care if we're profitable. I'd rather we expand the right way and focus on the customer and making them happy, not making Wall Street happy. So anyway, that's my rant on Tesla's biggest weakness. My next Tesla episode will be back to the happy times, but I think it's just a great exercise. You should think about what's your biggest stock in your biggest portfolio. What is the greatest weakness of that company? And, think it through. It's a great exercise. Anyway, this is Hyperchange. Definitely follow Sean Mitchell. Definitely check out that Rich Rebuilds video that I mentioned, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.